Hey, I want to talk about my work for a minute. And I started recording on my phone, and then I realized I'm probably going to talk for more than 5 minutes. I had a conversation yesterday with someone. We were talking about like truth, what I do for work, like therapy, counseling, like those kind of things. And it made me realize that I don't really know so many things. I don't really know where people are in regards to what I do. And I think many people go to therapy because something is. We have construction outside, so I'm partly distracted because there is noises. But I think people are struggling with things. At some point, they decide to reach out for help. They need someone to find a more constructive way of dealing with things, or maybe they're looking for a perspective that they can't find for themselves. But it's like, I think they are, this is the problem, in and out, fix it, go back to how things were. I'm just now thinking so much of my posts must not make sense. Maybe I had a skewed idea or perception of where people were. I thought always that I was the one needing to catch up, and that everyone else had it figured out, and that everyone else were doing it right, and they were healthy and all kinds of things. That I was striving for the normal that everyone else had. And maybe realizing that what's normal, what's the norm, normal doesn't mean healthy. What's healthy, is it up to each person? Just a lot of questions around that. But what I do, like, if you really want to feel good, you have to find that in yourself first. Not first, you really have to find that in yourself. Like, there's so many. So one thing that I'm working with is parts. It's internal family system talks about it, that you have different. ChatGPT didn't like that I called it people, because that will make people think they have multiple personality disorder. And it suggested I use the word personality traits or personas or masks. But I want to be literal. Like, it's like, I want you to imagine that you have a people inside of you, and they are it's as real and serious as a person standing in front of you. If you're talking to that person and you want to find a middle ground, you're really like listening to them, and like they have their perspective, you have your perspective, like let's figure it out. It's the same within. And I'm saying that because it's so easy to dismiss ourselves and downplay and put ourselves like in second, third, fourth, at the end of the line, you know? So I work with parts. So the relationship between the parts, or lack of relationship, and the relationship or lack of between the parts in you, that is what ultimately makes your inner feeling or inner climate, or if you're at peace, if you're, that's not maybe a good word, peace might be a good word, but like it's about being in coherence, it's about being who you are. And I don't know if that makes sense to people, because I don't know if people, when you have parts, it's so often like one part's in opposition with another. So we're so used to having like this internal dialogue of disagreeing with ourselves or being conflicted about certain things. It's not so often to be like, all of you are, we agree on this, like yes, that feels like a full yes for that specific thing. I don't know if that happens often for people, and if it does, I don't know how conscious it is. Like, to me, who is, I don't know, maybe more fragmented than most people, maybe in more conflict with myself than most people, it's very recognizable when I get to a place of acceptance and yes, that's actually what I want, like a recognition of, yeah, that is my truth. It's a very nice feeling of, I don't know which words to use, wholeness, congruency, settling, still, like it has like gravity, depth, it's has a pull, it's like when something clicks like perfect and just like it's so soothing. It's not happiness, it's not excitement, it's not necessarily satisfaction, could be bordering to that, but it feels really nice, like the feeling of truth and alignment. I hate that word, but still. So I don't know if people are used to that feeling, but that is one of the feelings that I can bring you to. And the conversation I had yesterday, he was like, well, most people don't want to see their truth, like truth is horrible, it's like hell. I'm like, whoa, what are you used to? But and he was also bringing up like, what if you find, like, how do you shield yourself when you find those parts of you that are like mean or like evil or bad, like those kind of parts. And this is like, I don't know if people, I don't know what people don't know. I don't know if, first of all, you recognize that you have different parts inside. Like when you go into certain moods, or you're in gym mood, or when you're in that mood when you're like snappy and like don't fucking interrupt me, you're bitey or salty or like flirtatious and you're playful. Like those are different parts. So you might be, depending on 1,000 factors, but you might be one of those parts and say things that, whoa, you're surprising yourself. Like I didn't know I had that in me, but clearly I did. It's like those parts are like untapped wells of information. It's super interesting. And it's also like when you're kind of like in them as you go through your day-to-day life, it's different if you're sitting across someone who's like, hey, whoa, you're salty, or hey, you're flirtatious, you're playful, like let me get to know you, let me get to know who you are in this mood, you know, and turn their attention towards you and ask you while you're in that specific feeling or energy, ask you questions, because it shines a light on that well, and it makes it so that more information can come up and you get to know more of that, more of yourself. It's super interesting. You can find things you had no idea was there. So I don't know if people know that they have parts. That's one thing. And then if I tell you that you do, I don't know what you think. Because maybe people will be like, oh yeah, I kind of have some dark thoughts sometimes. That might be parts. Like never if I want to open the door to that. And then they might see like parts as something that's out of their control, something like this is quite normal, I think, at least for men, that they have like, they feel like they have something primal in them, or something aggressive, or like, not perpetrator is not the right word, but like when you're preying on someone, like those kind of inclinations, and you don't want to give room to them because you see them as not constructive, destructive, like, and you think that if you give more attention it will just be worse. And if you give them airtime and space, who knows what you will do. If you go deeper into them and maybe they want to kill someone, like that's bad, or rape someone, that's bad, or hurt someone, that's bad. And like that was because when he asked yesterday, when you go into these rooms and meet those parts, how do you shield yourself? And I'm like, I don't shield myself. Like, why? What do you believe about those parts that makes you think you have to shield yourself? And he's like, well, if you go into that room and you don't shield yourself, and they will affect you, and you will come out and you will be like a different person. And I'm like, I mean, yes, true. When you go into a room and you talk to a part of yourself and you get to know that one, and you get more information and more awareness and new perspectives, yes, something might change. You might see things in a different way. You might feel a bit different about things, or a lot different. Who knows? But all the parts, all whatever inclinations or things that you kind of know you have inside that maybe you're scared of, like, no matter how vile you feel like they are, or think they are, or they appear to be, or they are, like, no matter how manipulative or sharp or aggressive, like, it doesn't matter. I have never met a part that when I talk to it, that it at its core, I'm trying to find an example, because it's like, you know, when you have a really troubled kid and you're like, that kid's fucking pure evil, you know, and you sit down and that kid is just super fucking wounded and traumatized and has been through hell and is reacting accordingly. It has every right to be that way. When you introduce to that part that you're safe, that you understand what's going on, that it makes sense that he or she is that way, that the only way that can counter what he or she has experienced is by someone being steadfast in their love, in their showing up, in their being safe. Like, I've never experienced in a situations when I show up as that safe, loving, I am here. Of course I'm here, I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to stay until forever, like, because I want to be here, and because I care about you, and because I love you. So I'm staying. You can give me your all, you can give me your worst. Like, bring it. Good luck trying to make me run away. Like, it's not going to happen, but test me. Try me. So when when I bring that, it'll always be some wound, some pain, some hurt. It will always be some hurt eventually. Like, but I don't want to trust people because people betrayed me over and over, and they beat me and they raped me and they mistreated me and they hated me, and I don't know why they didn't love me. That makes sense. Yeah, so now I just want to burn everything down. I get it. It's in that moment when you bring attention to how that part feels, to that part itself, who they are. And okay, I'm focusing on you now. Let's talk about you. Let's talk about how you feel. Let's talk about what happened. Let's talk about what you're ready to talk about. And I validate that, and I understand that, and I see you, and I get it, and I'm telling you it's okay. It makes sense. You have a right to feel this way. When you get that, something relaxes. When you can see finally that there's one person who is seeing you and they're telling you your experience makes sense. It's okay. I am here. What they did, it was not right. And I'm sorry. It's a sense of coming home. It's a sense of I'm okay. It's a sense of I'm okay might not be. It's a sense of I am. It changes something, that experience. When you hit that, when you sink like into the middle of who you are, and someone's there with you, and they don't, like, you don't have to change. We're there. I am there. And it's so much of practitioners. Like, so if you grade practitioners, someone or like clients come and they just want to like give me a better mindset, give me some solution to this, like in and out, fix it, putting out fires kind of like, and then go back to your normal life, who is maybe working, maybe it's not working, who knows. And then there is like the deeper work, and in the deeper work there is still like there's some who are more like the practitioner, who they are more oriented towards what's important is me meeting you and you meeting yourself. That's the baseline. That's what we're really here for. And change will come from that. Or not. Like the main thing is you meeting yourself. Or me meeting you, like both. But then there are also those who are like, yeah, let's meet you so we can figure out how to get you to someplace else. Which that we want to get you to someplace else might be subtle or not so subtle. But either way, it is felt on some level. And it buys into the whole, we need to fix you, you need to be fixed, there's something we need to change, you're not okay as you are. Like I can have a tendency to wanna fix things. But like it has changed a lot since I first started working with people. I'm not sure what I wanted to say. A question I got also yesterday is like, well, if you meet those bad parts, like people will be afraid that they will do whatever the bad part wants them to do or wants to do. And it's like, so often if I meet a part that at the beginning stages, in the beginning, they're talking about, I fucking hate you, I want to kill you, like I want to burn everything down, fuck people, fuck men, fuck women, this shit's fucking insufferable, kill all. If it's that kind of vibes and it's maybe persistent. So, like, we have to talk until we get to that point of me focusing back on you. Who are you? I can tell you want to hurt everyone. I can tell you want to burn this fucking place down. Tell me about it. Why? Anyone in particular? How would you burn them? Burning them in their houses or lighting them up or like whatever exploration to bring you back into you and to open up, you know? And as we do that and you become aware of yourself, well, actually I'm really fucking hurt, that was, you know what happened? And then something you will tell, you will get to what happened, we'll talk about that. And when like the air gets out of the balloon, because that happens when you get presence, validation, understanding, when someone's there with you, the energy, like, it shifts, it softens, it dissipates, it exhales. So most of the time, like, you will get to a point of, you know what, I don't want anything to fucking do with these people, fuck all. You're like, what, you want to kill them? No, if I cannot talk to them, that would just be enough. Like, it will be some milder form. Which I mean, maybe that it's mild in comparison to burning the shit down, but if you don't want to talk to a friend or a partner, I mean, of course, that can bring up a whole lot of fear and pain, and that can bring up a whole lot of stuff in and of itself. So, in a way, that doesn't have to be easy, but like, you're not leaving the session going out murdering someone. Like, but then, and this may be a bit sidetracking, but I think it's also interesting because this concept of being a good person, morality, like we don't want people to go around, oh, you upset me, so I'm going to stab you and kill you. Like, that's not. That's not. At the same time, I'm like, I feel like sometimes I'm canceling myself, but that's just what it is. If I'm in a situation where someone is being mean, like really mean, hateful, like it's really bad, and okay, so I might get to this point of, okay, I don't want to hear that anymore. I don't want to deal with that. I want to remove myself. That would be really nice if I can just put myself in a different continent and I never have to see them again. It would be nice. But I can also see I don't know like how to say this because I'm thinking there are so many possible action steps that can be taken to keep yourself safe. Like, but I find it interesting that there is a certain point when someone they pester you and they don't leave you the fuck alone, no matter which, like, how many steps you've done. And you're like, actually, I wanna kill them. I want to stop them, for real, stop them. And the only thing seems to be to murder them. Like, why should I be opposed to that? Like, I don't get that. Trying to find an argument now. I'm trying to answer my own question. Like my first thought was, well, you're taking a life. I'm like, yeah, but the life was annoying you. Like, not annoying, it was pestering you. It was not listening. Like, why, if a cell is being in the body aggressive like that, I imagine the system will squeeze it and kill it out because it's causing damage and it's not adjusting. It's the same like when I've read some posts from a somatic therapist on Instagram. Can't pronounce her name. But she is writing sometimes about how it's so a trend and common and a thing to regulate yourself, to calm. You should be calm. And she's saying that regulated doesn't necessarily mean calm. Like, regulated means being able to respond to the environment you're in. And sometimes the environment requires whatever it requires. And I'm thinking about Palestinians and the settlers and like just endless years of being pestered, seems to be my word today for some reason. But and then I'm thinking about the Jews as well, like way back, and I was wondering, like, why didn't they? It was so puzzling to me. How could they take a whole people and just drive them on trains to their death? Why didn't they resist? It was so weird to me. And just holding those two next to each other, like, it's so interesting. I'm having some judgment about if I'm coming across as ignorant, stupid, I don't know history, if I have white privilege or if I have some privilege, or if I should read some books before I speak about this, or if I'm distorted in my perception. And also, like, knowing I have my trauma, like, I asked a question on a video where the woman was talking about sexual coercion or marital coercion, and I was genuinely trying to understand. And I know I'm not right in the head when it comes to sex. I know I have twistedness when it comes to sex. But I was genuinely wanting to learn and trying to understand and figure myself out. And one woman commented, not the person on the account, but someone else. And she had been to my profile and she's like, and you're a counselor? Quit fucking working with people until we figure this shit out. You're dangerous. Like, I'm like, that was harsh. That was harsh. But yeah, I don't know what my point was with that. I know there are things I don't understand because of what I've been through. It's the whole thing is fascinating, like holding up the Jews just walking to their death and the Palestinians fighting tooth and nail. And being, I don't know if this is just my judgment or this is a judgment going around of those who judge, that they're like, impossible, why they resist so much, like why they don't want to like make peace and fighting back to me. But I wonder if it is a society thing as well, that if you fight back, that's looked down upon somehow. That you should like, you're just out of control then. And not taken seriously. And I'm like, there are some situations when the only appropriate response is anger, aggression. Hysterical. You know, like I imagine like when you see those movies or series where like the woman, she knows she's right, but everyone else is like gaslighting, and she gets into this desperation where people are like, she's lost it. Everyone's like, she's lost it. How terrible of a fucking situation. I'm totally sidetracking. Sessions. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say because I know that the truth is not for everyone. At the same time, there's nothing better that I can think of than to have someone with you into those places of yourself that you feel like is not acceptable, that is not lovable, and to get into those places and to see yourself and to see that no, I am actually lovable. I was wrong. I had some distorted, weird view on what this was, and it's not it. This is like I'm innocent, and I'm perfect, and I'm beautiful. And your whole perception of that aspect of yourself changes. And having someone else there as well, beside you, next to you, being like, yes, this is beautiful. I love that part of you also. I love you also. I love both of you. Like, you're perfect. You deserve to be exactly as you are, and you're loved exactly as you are. That feeling which can only come when you are meeting those parts of you. So you have to go there to get the feeling. And when those parts of you that are there experience you coming down there, wanting to be there, wanting to get to know them, for the first time in their lives, someone is coming down to where they are with, like, I want to get to know you. And they have been alone their whole life. No one loved them. No one saw them. To experience that someone's here and they are interested and they want me and they're not leaving. Which isn't that the experience we all want? Isn't that why we want a partner or someone who never leaves, like a best friend or a kid? To have someone who is unconditionally loving, who can love us when we can't love ourselves. Well, we think we can't love ourselves, but we can. That's kind of my point. That's what I offer. It doesn't matter how bad or vile you think a part is. I have yet to meet a part of someone that I don't like, that I don't love. Like, it didn't happen. So if that's interesting, if that's something you would like to taste, you know where to find me. Because I have a webpage, and I have my YouTube channel, and I have Instagram, and I have, what do I now have? Threads and Twitter. There's a lot of things I don't have. But I have Instagram, Facebook, my webpage, which is my name. Yeah, and YouTube. You will for sure find a way to get in touch if you're interested.